Coral reefs are easily one of the most interesting life forms on our planet. And today, it's gonna be some interesting facts about those beautiful coral reefs we were talking about. So, here are 10 surprising facts about coral reefs. So, keep counting. A quarter of all marine species live on coral reefs. Coral reefs make up a fraction of the ocean, less than 1%, but they provide a home to around 25% of all the world's marine life. Over 4,000 different species of fish rely on coral reefs. Corals are animals, not plants. A common misconception is that corals are plants or rocks, but in actual fact, they are animals. There are hard and soft varieties of coral which live together in large groups called colonies. 500 million people rely on coral reefs for food. Coral reefs provide food for a variety of fish, which in turn provide food for humans. It is estimated that around 500 million people in the world consume the fish found on coral reefs. Coral reefs need sunlight to grow. The clear and shallow water is where coral reefs thrive. They generally grow best at depths shallower than 70 meters where sunlight can easily reach. But too much heat can be harmful. Corals and algae have a symbiotic relationship, but if the ocean gets too warm, corals expel their algae, which causes them to turn white, a process known as bleaching. In a desperate attempt to survive increasing ocean temperatures, some corals have been shown to emit vibrant colors, a phenomenon which has led to the global glowing campaign. Coral reefs act as a barrier during storms. Coral reefs play an important role in protecting coastal communities from storms and water surges. They act as a buffer and are able to slow down water flow as well as prevent coastal erosion. And coral reefs clean the water they are in. You won't find coral reefs living in murky water. Yes, many corals and sponges feed on particles found in the ocean, which in turn leaves the water incredibly clear. Corals are a huge driver of tourism. In a pre-COVID-19 world, around 71 million people each year visited the coral reefs on holidays. This tourism is hugely important to local economies, particularly in lesser known destinations which rely on international tourism. Coral reefs date back around 240 million years. It's been recorded that coral reefs began forming as far back as 240 million years ago. Established coral reefs today are between 5,000 to 10,000 years old, although some individual corals may only live a couple of years only. Corals don't just live in warm waters. Although more commonly associated with tropical waters, coral reefs have been found in temperatures as low as 4 degrees Celsius and the depths of 2000 meters. These deep sea corals don't rely on photosynthesis to survive like their warm water counterparts. Instead, they feed solely on food particles from the surrounding water. Amazing, right? Hit a like if you find this little enlightening, and bang that subscribe button to join this enlightening family. See you with a new episode of Knowledge on Facts Gear.